Hello. Welcome to Sassy Southern Belle. We are on episode 19. This is our Thanksgiving special. This will, I'll go ahead and be honest with y'all. The next episode probably won't be again until after the Iron Bowl because I have a special episode lined up for that. But I also guess what I'm gonna say. War Eagle, Alabama, you lost. Oklahoma, yeah, you're still lost of the season. Do I care? Have I moved on past the Oklahoma refs being completely being biased Auburn? Yes, have I? Am I excited that Hugh Freeze is no longer at Auburn? Yes, I am. And do I know that Auburn lost to Vandy? Yeah, but that was a hell of a good game. So that was worth. But that was a long shot for Auburn. I will admit that one. Vandy has proven to be really good these past few years, and that's okay, honestly. Now, with that being said, Alabama, how's that second loss of the season feel to Oklahoma of all teams? By the way, I hate Alabama. War Eagle. Today we are going to be doing our Thanksgiving special episode and talking about Iron Bowl weekend and what that means. So, if you're from Alabama or you're from the South, you know that anybody from Alabama, state of Alabama, there are two teams, Alabama and Auburn. And you know, every year, if diehard football, Alabama and Auburn football fans, we basically, that is our Super Bowl, basically, for us. Not the national championship, but the Iron Bowl. It's the weekend we look forward to every year. And call in SEC, you better not move that weekend from me. I mean it. I know you're going to the whole 9 conference games next year, but I'm just saying, Alabama, the Iron Bowl is my weekend. Everyone, I think, will agree with me on that one. With that being said, why don't I jump into today's episode, shall we? Okay, so we're back recording again. Great. So let's talk about Thanksgiving for a minute. Basically, do like a little overview of Thanksgiving because it's a Thanksgiving special for crying out loud. All right. Well, Thanksgiving is a national holiday and it's celebrated on various dates in October and November in the U.S., Canada, St. Lucia, Liberia, and unofficially in countries like Brazil and Germany. It is also observed in the Australian territory of Norfolk Island, and it began as a day of the week giving thanks for the blessings of the harvest and of the preceding war. Now, various various similarity between the harvest festival holiday that occur and that occurred throughout the world during autumn. Although Thanksgiving um, has historical roots in regions during the autumn. Now, although Thanksgiving has historical roots in the religious and cultural views, it has been long and celebrated as a secular holiday as well. Let's talk about the history now. Hmm. Prayers and thanks and special Thanksgiving ceremonies are common among most religions after harvest and other times of the year. Now, the holidays history of the North America is rooted in English tradition from the Protestant Reformation. It also has aspects of the harvest festival, even though the harvest in New England occurs well before the late November date on which modern Thanksgiving is celebrated. Now, in many English traditions, the days of Thanksgiving and special Thanksgiving religious service became important during the English Reformation with the reign of Henry VIII. So, you mean to tell me he actually was good for something besides marrying 8 wives? Sorry, I had to make the joke. I had to. Don't hate. Don't cancel me. Now, In the English Reformation, days of Thanksgiving and special thanks to the religious services became important during the English Reformation in the reign of Henry VIII. Before 1536, there were 95 church holidays, plus every Sunday when people were required to attend church and forego work. Throughout the 1536 reforms, and the Church of England reduced the number of holidays in the calendar to 27. Now, the Puritan holidays in the Anglican Church which to eliminate all church holidays apart from the weekly Lord's Day, including the evangelical feast of Christmas and Easter. Now, the holidays were replaced by specially called days of fasting and days of Thanksgiving in response to the events that the Puritans viewed as a special providence. Um, and unexpected, disastrous, or threats or judgments from the high call of the days of fasting. Now, a special blessings were viewed as coming from God, called the days of Thanksgiving, which were observed through Christian church services. For example, days of Thanksgiving were called following in the victory of the Spanish Armada in the 1588, following the deliverance of Queen Anne in 1605. Um, an unusual day of ceremony Thanksgiving began in 1606, following the failure of the gunpowder plot in 1605, which developed into Guy Fawkes Day on November 5th. Now, fasting were called out on accounts of the plagues in 1604 to 1622. Drought in 1611, floods in 1613, and annual Thanksgiving prayers were dictated by a charter of the English settlers upon their landing in America in 1619 at Berkeley Hundred in Virginia. Now, what are some Thanksgiving do's and don'ts? Don't turn down the offer to help. Thanksgiving can be stressful and it's a hard work for one person. So assign guests to bring wine or enlist family members in the kitchen as your assistants. Kids can help set the table or wash dishes or help with simple recipes. Do give yourself plenty of time. If you brought a frozen turkey, it will need to take time to thaw, and you cannot microwave a turkey to cook it. You cannot. I have a friend of mine who literally will they microwave eggs and chicken. Luckily, my friend married to someone who can cook, and my friend and her brother, it's gonna be him, his wife, and his best friend. The three of them are gonna be the two of those are a package deal. And my other friend, her brother as well, um, he's marrying someone. He's pretty much self-sustainable, honestly. We're not too worried about him. Um, don't stress over the little mistakes. No one will notice that you forgot the time or there are cracks in the pie. They'll still be delicious. Do set a simple table. It doesn't have to be extravagant or lavish. Just keep it simple and easy. Don't forget the family favorites, but plan a new dish to try. I'm a traditional girl, so I love all the classics. I really do. You can go to my Son and Grace and Sass episode if you want to see my favorite Thanksgiving meals and favorite not Thanksgiving meals. Do as much as you can in advance so you can help prepare. Don't take on too much for crying out loud. Do take allergies in consideration. Do spend your time in the kitchen. Now let's talk about some Thanksgiving meals. Obviously, like I said, I'm a traditional girl, but we know I did talk about my favorites over there on my Southern Grace and Sass podcast, so you can go watch that episode if you would like. Um, this one's it's kind of different from this one. But anyway, there's turkey and ham, and I can only eat turkey at Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's just I can't eat it any other time of the year. Um, green bean casserole, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows preferably. I don't like it with the pecans. I don't really like nuts, if I'm being honest. Pumpkin pie, cornbread, dressing, roll, sweet potato pie, cranberry sauce. Also don't like cranberry sauce. Don't hate. Also don't like deviled eggs. I forgot to put that part in, but anyway. But let's talk about some of the harsh realities, okay? It's not the same as when we were kids. Because remember, we would go to grandma's house or someone's, and they would host it, right? It's not the same. We don't have our grandparents these days. Most of us don't, and it's not. And some people may not even be celebrating. Some people may or may not have family to celebrate with. Um, it's not a cookie cutter homework thing. It can be hard if you're going through a loss. But what are some traditions to look forward to? Charlie Brown. I grew up watching Charlie Brown. I love Charlie Brown, especially Thanksgiving Day special. Um, Iron Bowl, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, football in the living room. Now, I love football. I'm a football girly. I'm also reminded I was watching. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was like um the it was one football game I was watching, and I was reminded this is why I need to date a guy who likes football as much as I do because I get super into football. So yeah. Um, what are some reminders? Do stay away from the kitchen if you'll snack the whole time. Let's be honest, we've all been there where we filled up the whole time, and by the time dinner came, we could not eat. Do remember that there is a dress code for different families. I personally am the belief that you should dress as comfortable and as appropriate as you want. Do remember there is a different vibe with each family. There will always be leftovers, so trust me, those leftovers last for days, and we love the leftovers. What's some favorite memories? Seeing my cousins playing on the swing sets, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The most important one that we will get to is watching the Iron Bowl on Saturdays. Trust me, if you're from Alabama, you know you know. Now, I did find some Reddit stories that we have to talk about real quick. Um, one Thanksgiving, we were all sitting around the table after dinner, and my mom was asking for help with leftovers. It's like, who'd like to come make some TV dinners? Me, being a total smart Alex, replied, no, I couldn't eat another bite, cracked everyone up. For years, the recurring joke was another time we decided that roll eating contest. We also ate so many that we ran out, and the following year, my cousins showed up with packages determined to win just just coming in the door and with their bags, and it was enough to crack us up. But oh boy, we never did that again. Um, everything is so was so awkward afterwards that um someone would continue. Let's have a roll eating contest again. Another Reddit story is we got the turkey shaped butter every year, and one of my youngest referred to it as her new pet. For some reason, and at the end of the meal, as we were cleaning the table, my stepdad's eyes got huge, and he said, stammering, "The pet, the pet, the pet." Because our dog, our actual pet, had just like, casually walked past the table, and just ate the entire butter turkey in one bite, before everyone at the table could stop him. So now, everyone always asked if I've grabbed the pet sacrifice. That's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh. Okay, another one is Mom is notorious for burning the rolls. So everything else will be perfect, but she also puts the rolls in last every year. And then we forgot them until I tell her to smell what's burning. And for years, we tried to convince her to put them in something else so that they wouldn't burn on the other side. And she was like, no, no, they must go on, tell them. So our standard holiday is what's burning, and the responses are, it's just the rolls. Or we joke it really isn't a holiday unless the rolls are scorched. Now, let's talk about the Iron Bowl. We can't talk about it's gonna be Iron Bowl weekend. And we have 2 weeks until I release a new episode, so we had to talk about this. If you're from Alabama, you either like Alabama or Auburn. Unless you're new to Alabama, then you really don't know what we're talking about. So, from an early age, we choose our team. I chose Auburn. And when you literally, here's the thing: the Iron Bowl is primarily for bragging rights, honestly. And we can play like crap all year long. Both teams can, and we can still win. And that's gonna be the games when we play each other. Um, that's just how it goes in a lot of times. And I love football. I really do. But like, if you really want, like, there is nothing more than a family divided is when Alabama and Auburn come on, and you can truly tell who's the Alabama fans and who's the Auburn fans. And my predictions for the Iron Bowl is Auburn's gonna kick Alabama's butt. I mean it. I will never root for Alabama. You cannot pay me enough to root for Alabama, and it's an Auburn thing. I think it's an Auburn fan base thing too, but Alabama fans are some of the most annoying and cockiest fan bases in the world. And yes, I know we don't have Hugh Freeze, and I'm glad we finally kicked him to the curb. So I'm very happy on that one. But yeah, but it's Iron Bowl weekend, so some things to remember. You have to, if you're marrying to someone if you're coming into someone who's an out, who doesn't know anything about the Iron Bowl, just remember this: we want to win. We like. It doesn't matter. For us, this is bragging rights. Like, if we make it to the SEC championship or a national championship, so be it. But this is a bragging rights game for us. This is a rivalry is more that is more embedded in us than the Auburn Georgia game or the Alabama Tennessee game or something like that. But yeah, but that is it for this episode. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. War Eagle. I will see y'all after the Iron Bowl, and we will talk about my predictions for the SEC championship and all of that. But y'all have a great day.